Hey, welcome everybody. This is Mark Dannenberg from Options Moneymaker. This is our Q&A session for December 2nd, 2020. We're getting down to the end of this amazingly interesting year that we've all lived through. And we are here to talk about trading options, trading futures, trading the adaptive entry system signals that have been built by New Cycle Trading and Analytics. So Aaron and Michael will be here with me a little bit later as we get into the Q&A portion of the session here. So our motto is learn to trade and then trade to earn. I heard from a old friend of mine that he's starting to learn how to trade and that he'd gotten some advice from some people that you could lose all of your money trading. And it got me to thinking about that whole philosophy and that whole concept. And it is absolutely 100% true that you could. But we support a system, an approach here that says, first of all, learn to trade and then trade to earn. And it's generally the people who jump in very quickly, jump in without knowledge, without any type of experience, that they donate all their money back to the market. Now, there are some periods in history that have sudden and abrupt movements that kind of come out of nowhere, and you run the risk of losing more than you had originally anticipated, but you shouldn't be in a position where you're going to lose more than you can afford to lose. So the whole part about learning to trade first, that's why we are here. When we're talking about futures trading, we want to help guide you to trade futures knowledgeably and successfully. We also promote that you start with a small amount of money and that before you ever trade live dollars, that you're actually trading in a simulation mode. If you cannot trade successfully in simulation mode before you ever commit a live dollar, you should never move to trading live money. So there's the first barrier to risk that will help you avoid losing, and the advice and counsel that some people will provide that you can lose all of your money. The second barrier to losing is using a reasonable amount of money to put at risk. So when we're trading futures, we are suggesting to people that you could start with as little as $3,000 to $5,000 and you can be successful trading. One of the things that I'm going to show you here in just a few minutes is translating our performance for the last few days into the personal trading plan tool that we developed here at Options Moneymaker to help you forecast out 12-month income from your trading. And you'll see that in both of the categories that we track, that we are in the process of tracking for a 12-month period, that they each started with $5,000. So if $5,000 is manageable for you, that's a reasonable amount of money, I think, that will allow you to turn some effort and discipline into some profit. And then once you have completed some experience and you've completed some training and perhaps you followed along with Aaron and Michael and myself in the live trading room, then step into trading simulation money and then step into trading real money. So that's a very high level, very quick summary of what we recommend. But my friend got me thinking about the number of times that people step into a bear trap and don't really even know where they are, don't know what they're doing, feel like they got lucky. And that is more along the lines of what you do when you go to Vegas or Atlantic City. And maybe those those avenues are not, those venues are not available to you right now. And so some people are resorting to trading, and they're treating it much like gambling as opposed to treating it like a business. We treat our trading like a business. We want you to look at it like a business. It requires a certain level of knowledge, requires a certain level of investment, a certain level of discipline. There's always some level of risk, but we will show you how to manage your risk with a reasonable amount of intelligence so that you can be successful. So in this Q&A, we set aside time to respond to questions that you may have, help you understand more deeply how to trade successfully. It's time we set aside so that there's not the pressure of trading. We're not monitoring signals while we're answering your questions, and it's a format that is not just restricted to message back and forth in terms of email. So we're here to help you with that. And some of the areas that we talk about are, we represent New Cycle Trading and Analytics, and regarding the adaptive entry system that we form profile in the live trading room. And that's what we use to identify all of our trends and all of our signals. And then we profile particularly the 5-minute NASDAQ 100 chart. So we're trading futures. And we do that because it's a way for us to say, here's how you interpret the signals, here's how you think about the signals, here's when you get in, here's when you get out, here's when you exercise some caution. But these same signals can be applied to stocks, they can be applied to ETFs, they can be applied to options, and certainly they can be applied to any other futures contract that you may choose you want to trade. We profiled the Cycle Finder Plus crosses every day. Aaron will alert you to any crosses on a daily chart from our watch list of stocks, and we track those in a profit sweet spot matrix. We do have the live trading room. It's a core of what we offer. It's a core of our education programs, and if you have only a small amount of time even to invest in the live trading room, it's a great opportunity for you to have some real-time trading experience and support following right along with the trades that we call out, and following the adaptive entry system signals. Profit Builder Plus, for those of you who are interested in learning more about options and trading options, that is a core education program. It's comprehensive in terms of starting right at the very basic entry-level information for trading options, and all the way through some of the advanced strategies that you can use in options trading. We have a futures trading education program. We're here to answer questions about that. Also, mostly focused on the risk and reward of futures, how to minimize your risk, and how to properly integrate the adaptive entry system signals into trading your futures. So one of the things that we talk about on a regular basis is the personal trading plan. The personal trading plan is a tool that we developed here at Options Moneymaker that helps you take your performance each day, no matter what you're trading, but take your performance each day and plug it into this tool, this personal trading plan tool, and it will help you determine what your current performance run rate is. So what are your averages, so that it helps to minimize those losing days and even play down your big winning days. It just takes a look at your averages by looking back over the history of your trading so far. And then it takes those averages and it projects it out into the future and gives you a reasonable estimate of, if you were to continue to perform at the same level you've been performing, what would your income be for a 12-month period? Now, we promote that it's a good idea to update your personal trading plan at the end of every day, and we do that most days. We had a holiday here last week. We've had a few days here where not all of us have been available. So we have not updated the personal trading plan in our tracking on a daily basis. So I'm going to do that here before we jump into the Q&A. So the first thing we want to look at is our performance summary. So the days that we're going to be updating here are November 25th, so Wednesday of last week, and then Thursday the market was closed, and Friday we were closed, so we don't have anything recorded for that. And then we have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of this week. There are two primary categories that we track when we are entering our performance information into the personal trading plan. One is if you were trading from 9:30 to noon and you were taking all 4 of the adaptive entry system signals. And the second is if you traded from 7 to 4, those are Eastern times, and you were only taking the trend bias trades and the trend continuation trades. And we break it down into 2 different categories because when we decided to start profiling the personal trading plan on a daily basis relative to how the adaptive entry system was performing, we wanted to give you an idea that there are variations in what you choose to trade as a small business owner. You know, if you want to trade 9:30 to noon, or if you want to trade to 7 to 4, if you want to trade all the signals, or if you want to only trade the trend bias signals, or maybe you only want to trade consensus signals, or some other variation. We don't track every single variation or combinations of timeframes and signals, but we're giving you these two categories as a way to kind of understand how to use the personal trading plan. So on Wednesday of last week in the 9:30 to noon category, we lost 21.25 points. We did 9 trades. And then Monday, we took 30 points of profit. Yesterday, we took 15 points of profit. And today, we took 50 points of profit. Now, each point on the NASDAQ 100 futures is equivalent to $20. So each 1 point is $20 per contract. And this is for the NASDAQ 100 futures. In the 7 to 4 category, last Wednesday, we lost 16.5 points. Monday, we made 3.25 points. Yesterday, we lost 18.25 points. And today, we made 58.25 points. Now, if you were to scroll back and you take a look at all the daily detail, you're going to see there's a combination of winning days, losing days. And what we are most interested in is the averages. I'm going to come back in just a few minutes and talk a little bit more about the averages. But for now, I want to jump over to our personal trading plan. And I'm going to start with Wednesday of last week. And this is the, let me start with the 9:30 to noon category. 9:30 to noon, we're going to go to Wednesday of last week. And let's see here, 9:30 to noon, Wednesday of last week, we lost 21.25 points. So that's $20 a point, and we are at 3 contracts now. So we've scaled up, our personal trading plan has scaled us up to 3 contracts. So we lost $1,275. And then we did 9 trades at 3 contracts per trade, so 27 contracts. And then on Monday, we did 30 points, and that's $20 a point, so that's $600, 3 contracts, $1,800. And we did 10 trades, 30 contracts, 3 contracts per trade. Yesterday we did 15 points, $20 a point, that's $300, 3 contracts each trade. So we did $900 of profit. And we did 24 contracts because we had 8 trades at 3 contracts per trade. And then today we had a really nice day, 9:30 to noon, 50 points. So that's $1,000. 3 contracts is $3,000. And we did 8 trades again, so 24 contracts. And then we're going to put, Aaron, are you here? Yeah, okay.
Yes, I'm here.
There we go. So here we put 0 under the contracts, so it shows 0 activity on Thursday and Friday, and those do not contribute to our averages and our run rates then by entering those zeros in there. You don't
Someone's
put 0
really
in the
smart.
dollars.
Who did that?
I don't know, somebody really smart.
Genius.
You're welcome. So thank you, Michael. Appreciate that.
No.
Let's see here. I'm just locking in the contracts now. So once you've entered your data, the number of contracts you were trading that day per trade, you lock them in so that you don't have any changes to the historical information, only going forward. All right, so before we talk about the data and how we interpret it, let's go back and take a look at our 7 to 4 category. So 7 to 4 on Wednesday of last week, we lost 16.5 points at $20 a point, 3 contracts. That's a loss of $900. Sorry, that's incorrect. It's a loss of $990. And in terms of trades, we did 11 trades, 3 contracts per trade, so it's 33 contracts. 0 for Thursday, 0 for Friday. And then we did 3.25 points positive on Monday And at $20 a point, at 3 contracts, that's $195. And we did 36 contracts in total. So that's 12 trades at 3 contracts per. And then we did, let's see here, we lost 18.25 points yesterday. So that translates to 1,095 of loss. And we did 51 contracts yesterday, 17 trades at 3 contracts per trade. And then today was a really nice, strong day. We did 58.25 points at $20 a point, 3 contracts. And so we did $3,495 of profit and 45 total contracts, 15 trades with 3 contracts per trade. And then we're trading 3 contracts per trade, so I'm going to lock that in here. Here. All right, so now what do we do with that data? This is the most important part. That's just the data entry. That's just making sure that you've recorded what your performance was. So now I'm on the 9:30 to noon category, and I'm going to take a look at these 4 numbers right here. First of all, we have 21.6 weeks behind us. We've traded for 21.6 weeks, and this is a 52-week plan. So we're getting close to being, approaching halfway through our plan at the end of this month. There have been 34 losing days in the last 21.6 weeks. I think that's a pretty decent record. But whether it's a decent record in your opinion or not, whether it's a higher number of losing days than you originally anticipated, or perhaps you think it's favorable, it doesn't matter. Here's what matters the most. Of all of our winning days, we're averaging 23.8 points per day, and that takes into account the frequency rate of wins and losses over the last 21.6 weeks. The frequency rate. So you've got the average, and the frequency rate is factored into that. Our losing days are averaging 35.17 points a day on the losing days, and factors in the losing days as a factor of the total number of weeks that have elapsed. So 23.8. So what we do here is now we focus on these 2 numbers right here, which is our go forward forecast. So one of the reasons in the contract override column is I've plugged in 3 contracts for every day that we've traded, is because if I were to modify my go forward number of contracts, I don't want it to change anything historically. I want it to only change going forward. But first of all, we need to make sure that our going forward forecast is leveraging the run rate, the actual run rate. So our actual run rate for our positive winning days in the 9:30 to noon category, taking all signals, is 23.8. So I'm going to say going forward, I'm going to make an assumption that I'm going to also average 23.8. Our losing days are averaging 35.17. So that's actually a slight improvement over what we had before. So I'm going to put in minus 35.17. So now what we've done is we've said, listen, we understand for the first 21.6 weeks what our averages are, winning days and losing days. Not only the number of winning days and losing days, but the average performance, the profit production on those winning days and the profit production on those losing days. And now we're going to use those same values to forecast forward. And so that the history that we have for the first 21.6 weeks, combined with using those same values as a forecast going forward, projects a income for a 12-month period of $180,488. $180,488. That's having started with $5,000 in the account. And you can see how the balance has continued to grow, and there's some points in time where you have losses where the balance retreats back a little bit and then it continues to grow. What we are mostly interested in are these averages right here and the frequency rate of losses to the number of weeks that have elapsed. So now that we have that all lined up, we feel pretty confident that 180,000 is a realistic forecast. It doesn't guarantee that that's what your income is going to be for a 12-month period. It just says that at this point in time, based on the current averages, that it is a reasonable estimate of what your income could be over a 12-month period, having started with $5,000 and having maxed out at three contracts per trade. The number of contracts you can change to whatever you want. It's a variable that is entirely up to you as a business owner. You could say you might want to trade 5 contracts, and if you put 5 in there instead of 3, it will automatically take your run rates and forecast it forward. It doesn't change anything going back. It only changes going forward. And it says that you could potentially have $254,000 of income. I think 3 contracts is a very reasonable number of contracts for most anybody in our community to trade. We do have some people who trade far more contracts than 3. We have a lot of people who are happy just trading 1 contract, or maybe they will increment to 2 contracts, and you could still have 143,000. So one of the purposes of this personal trading plan was to help you understand, if you continue to perform at the same average level you've been performing, what your income could be, and set your sights on that. It also gives you an idea on a daily basis of what your target should be. If you are sitting there at 11 o'clock in the morning, you've been trading for an hour and a half, and you see that you've made 25 points, and you know that, geez, if I stay on pace at 23.8 points, I know that my income could potentially be $180,000 over the course of a month. I'm done for the day. We get that message from a lot of folks in our live trading room telling us, hey, I've met my goal, I'm done for the day, I'm going to go play golf, or I'm going to stick in the room and I'm going to switch to sim mode so I can continue to learn, but I've made the money that I need to make in order to hit the goal that I have for me personally. So let's just do that same analysis real quick on the 7 to 4 category. And this is a category where 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, and we only take the trend bias and trend continuation trades. Same 21.6 weeks, we've got 30 losing days. Our average winning day is 31.39. That takes into account the frequency of winning days to number of weeks that have elapsed, and our average losing day is 33.47. So we're going to change our go forward forecast to 31.39. And we're going to change our, by a penny, but we're going to make it exact, change our losing day to 33.47. And so limiting ourselves to 3 contracts, that we won't allow the personal trading plan to increment to scale us beyond 3 contracts. It gives us an estimate of about a $280,000 income over a 12-month period. Now, you go through periods of time, and I'm kind of glad that we've seen this. So I'm going to jump back over here to the daily summary. We go through periods of time where we have long periods of time in some categories with just win after win after win, and then we have other periods of time where you have this whole series of losing days. That gets very frustrating. And for me personally, when you have that series of losing days, being able to look back at my averages and look at how those averages forecast out for 52 weeks is the calming point for me. It's what says, hey, you're still on path to do a great job. And I've got all these losing days here. It's just the nature of the market and their interaction with the market. But those losing days are factored into my averages, and so I can still use my average to go forward. And if my average improves, well, then my income might improve. If my average erodes or slightly decreases, well, then my potential income might decrease. But this is one of the reasons why the combination of the adaptive entry system signals, this tracking tool, which Aaron so brilliantly created for us, and we've come to rely on it every single day, and the personal trading plan, where we can track our performance and see how it forecasts out going forward. The combination of those 3 factors are a win for most every trader. And if you follow the discipline of learning, you follow the discipline of following along with our trades in the live trading room, and just being wise about what you do, set your emotions aside, and just kind of let the averages take over, there's really no reason why you cannot achieve success in trading. Can't guarantee that you will. Every trader handles things a little differently. Everybody makes slightly different decisions, but there's no reason why you cannot be successful. These are strong numbers overall. The average to date for the last 5 months is 26.75 points a day, 17.77 points a day. And then if you traded 7 to 4 all signals, it's about 54 points a day. One last thing I want to share with you here, and then just see if you have any questions. Aaron built this monthly summary into the spreadsheet so that now we can take a look at each individual month, which is very, very helpful if you've gone through a period of time, you just feel frustrated, you just feel like, geez, it just seems like, we're kind of slogging through things. You can look back and go, well, yeah, it kind of turned out that way. In the 7 to 4 category, look at last month, we just killed it in the month of October. That was our best performing month. What happened in November? Well, if you're trading the trend bias, all month long, you might have been wondering, scratching your head, what the heck happened? And clearly, I mean, it's so far, the only losing month period that we've had. And you would have lost 45 points for the course of the month. But if you take a look at the big picture value here and you say, well, I got 6 months here and my average over the last 6 months is 528 points per month. Well, that's over $10,000. That's $10,500 trading a single contract. So if you're trading 3 contracts, you might have made a lot more. That's about $30,000 a month average. You might have made a lot more in the first 5 months, and then you just didn't make anything in the last month. That is what averages are all about, and that's why I think it's so important to focus on your averages. Don't get discouraged because you have a day, a week, or now even looking at a month and go, well, it just didn't play out for me very well. But you can look at your averages and say, okay, if the averages are valid and they're going to continue to be valid, then I can rely on maybe going forward the next 6 months, seeing that same level of average. I might have high month, I might have a low month, but if my average still is producing somewhere around $10,000 per contract, that's a pretty decent income. All right, so that updates the daily trading plan, and I just want to turn it over to questions now. Any questions that you might have?
Okay, there we go. Rodrigo's asking, would you say if you made 30 points on one day, it would be a good idea to stop trading for the day? So if you I guess you made 30 points before noon, maybe is what he's trying to say. Would you stop, or even 9 o'clock, 9:30?
Yeah, so my answer to that is, what does my trading plan show me? If I'm trading the 7 to 4 trend bias, trend continuation only, and my goal for the day is 31.39 points and I'm at 30 points, yeah, I'm probably done, because I know that 30 points is keeping me on a pace of about a $280,000 income. That's what I know. And so if the next day you lose, all right, so you lose, okay? But if your loss is somewhere reasonably close to this forecast number right here, 33 points, well, then you're on a pace to still be earning potentially that $280,000 income. And we do have a lot of people that will tell us early in the day. I mean, some as early as 15 minutes after market open, because they started trading maybe at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, will tell us, I met my goal for the day. My goal is 25 points. I met my goal for the day. I'm done for the day. And it's because they're using a personal trading plan. And they go, well, I now have a point of reference. And I know that if I make 25 points, I know where in the scheme of things that projects out. So you can certainly continue to trade. Every time you take a trade, you certainly run risk. But you can make your decision about what's important to you. If you would be happy, like if this was your plan right here, this 9:30 to noon, and you know what your averages have been for the last 5.5 months, and you know that if you made 23.8 points, that you're going to make $180,000. well, you can decide to keep trading because maybe you're willing to give back a little bit of that, or you want to take some risk and try to make that a bigger number. Personally, if I wanted to make that a bigger number, when I'm really confident with my trading, I wouldn't stay and trade longer. I'd change this to 4 contracts. That's what I would do. And I would take the same number of trades I've been taking. I know what my averages have been, and these averages are always stated on a per contract basis. I would increase the number of contracts, and I could increase potentially my income. So that's the way I would look at it. Questions, guys?
I was also going to say you could plug it in for them on the AES spreadsheet too. We did put that feature in there that if you stop at 30 points, it shows you what your averages would be.
Is that here?
Yes. I highlighted it red because I keep forgetting to clear it sometimes. So that's the reason why it's red.
Okay.
But you can see if you traded from 7 to 2 and stopped at 30 points, you're still looking at daily average about $519.
That seems pretty reasonable. That's per contract. That's per contract daily. So that's over $10,000 over the course of a 20 trading day month.
There's quite a few people asking for how to purchase the personal trading plan.
Aaron?
I can send them all the link.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Investor 2, right?
2, yeah.
So it's optionsmoneymaker.com/investor2. And for those of you asking, I will send it to you.
Mark, Christian's asking, are there any word on the I love AES bumper stickers?
Christian, I thought you were ordering those for us.
So we sent you a note, Christian, a certified mail that you're supposed to get that fixed up for us, but you're funny.
Okay, folks, if you look at the screen here, Aaron's sending, oh, what happened?
Where did it go?
What?
Oh, you put it on the home, on the first page, the first slide.
I did. I didn't think I'd done that. Okay. So on that link, you can access the personal trading plan.
Mark's saying, I need help setting up the AES system. So when you purchased AES, as soon as you're granted access to the indicator, then they will send you an email, a welcome email, and it'll give you step-by-step instructions. There will be a website where there's step-by-step instructions on exactly how to set up the chart to look just like it does in our live trading room. It's pretty simple to follow. There's pictures for each step. So it's pretty easy to get set up that way. So just look for the email from them with the link to their website, and it'll take you through the steps on how to set up. And then there's also a frequently asked questions on their website too, if you get stuck at all. But just wait until they give you access. If you just purchased, it usually takes it can take up to 2 business days for them to grant you access. And as soon as they do, they'll send you an email with a link on how to get started.